If you're a facilities manager at a university, you know students rely on the cafeteria for breakfast, lunch, dinner, and the occasional late-night snack. So when a dishwasher breaks down and dirty plates pile up, the mess hall can turn messy in the blink of an eye. Enter Grainger. With over 1 million industrial-grade products and fast delivery, the product you need now is never far away. So you can turn that dishwasher back into a lean, clean washing machine. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
The following podcast is brought to you exclusively by the Rad Rob Radio Network.
On this edition of Straight Up 5 with Johnny Petraglia Jr., we welcome PBA star Patrick Dombrowski to the show. We'll talk about his PBA regional career as a 10-time titleist, how he was the runner-up in the 2024 USBC Masters, how he got into bowling, and so much more. Straight Up 5 with Johnny Petraglia Jr. starts now.
This is PBA champion Kyle Troop.
Hey y'all, Jacob Ledrup here.
Jeff Riggles here from 11thframe.com.
Hey guys, Chuck Ritchie here, formerly of Bowl TV.
Hey guys, this is Ryan Schaefer of track staff at Valley Bowling Center in Waverly, New York.
And you're listening to Straight Up 5 with Johnny Petraglia Jr.
Yo, the boys from Straight Up 5, Rad Rob, Dr Ocho, and of course JP Jr.
As you know, JP Jr. used to be introduced as the sexiest man in bowling and now the world. But he doesn't have the best hair in the world. I do. Sorry, bud, but you know the deal. Pick it out. Fear the fro, baby.
Welcome to Straight Up 5 with Johnny Petraglia Jr. A hard-hitting, in-depth, cutting-edge look into the world of bowling. This podcast will not only cover all things bowling, but will also give you a raw look into real-life issues. You'll get unfettered access into the mind of one of the most gifted bowlers of this or any other generation.
Strike, and they claim it. Similarly does it.
So without further ado, let's introduce you to the hosts of the show. Rad Rob, Rob Francois. Rad Rob, Rob Francois. Dr. Ocho. Dr. Ocho. And the incomparable Johnny Petraglia Jr. Johnny Petraglia Jr.
Hey guys, welcome back to Straight Up 5 with Johnny Petraglia Jr. I'm your host, Rad Rob, Rob Francois. It's true, I still do, although it's been a while. Sperron's going to give me some shit for that, but it's been a while since I've been to Popeyes. We have a very exciting show tonight, but before we get into that, let's see who's in the chat. We got Billy M. What's going on, brother? What's going on, brother? Nico, our resident statistician and correspondent. Bowling with Diallo, what's going on? What's going on? DJ Ricky Smith, what up, Ricky? This dude is here. Nico says, congrats to Brandon and Parker for winning the regional in Virginia over the weekend. We had a lengthy talk about that, Parker and I, yesterday when we went to lunch. If you did not see the video on our YouTube channel, I posted the half-hour conversation we had after our lunch and talking inside for about an hour. And he's the best. He really is. Chuck Ritchie, what's going on, brother? Formerly of Bowl TV. We need to get him back on Bowl TV. I was going through some of the clips of PD and hearing Chuck Ritchie on Bowl TV with Tom Hess and the other guy. Just it's not the same. Not the same without him. Mozelle's in the house. What's going on, darling? Good to see you here. Pete Cow. What's up? Oh, I forgot about Crambone. What up, Crambone? What up? Stangman's here. What's going on? Doyle Irons is here. Good evening, everybody. Let's introduce my first co-host. He is the man that nobody comes to see, but he does have the largest arms on the podcast until Johnny Jr. gets bigger, which he's getting close. Johnny's yoked. And Ocho hasn't been to the gym since pre-COVID, so it is what it is. But he is also the resident doctor. He is our resident chiropractor, who is a lover of all things. I can't say that. Never mind. He is also a fan of the law. Most importantly, when people break the law, like police officers and government officials, and Ocho is very passionate about that. And We like that because we're law-abiding citizens on this show. I got nothing else. 139 shows and about 400 others that I've done with Ocho. I run out of things to blow smoke up his ass about. So let's just bring him in. Dr. Ocho, what's up, brother?
There's still plenty to talk about, though. And no, I'm not a fan of people who break the law. I'm a fan of being a freedom. We're a fan of freedom. We're a fan of the Constitution of this glorious United States. Let's enjoy what the Bill of Rights had afforded us. Now, remember,
there you go, resident civil rights activists.
Listen, the Constitution doesn't give us those rights. They are guaranteeing the rights that are already afforded to us, we the people. And I got a couple extra. Hang on, hold on. Let me get a little more.
There you go.
Bad boys.
There we go. Now we can see him.
I know, yeah, muscle memory. That's all I got.
Do you own a single shirt with sleeves?
I get them with sleeves. They just take off. They're like, oh, my bad. I don't want any part of this smoke. And I don't blame them.
Nicole's here. Hold on.
Happy birthday, Nicole. Sexy voice.
I'm super excited to be able to wish Ocho.
Oh, shit. Hey, so, Rob.
Yes, sir.
I got a text from Parker.
Oh, boy.
Here, hang on. Wow, that guy can eat. How he doesn't spit out food when he talks is amazing. Great convo, though.
It was. We spoke for quite a length.
He didn't text me.
Quite a length.
It's a joke. He called me and said, I haven't found his neck.
You told me you found it last week, douchebag.
I was just trying, because of the cute tribute you did, I was feeling.
So you didn't find my neck?
No, I didn't.
God damn it. All right.
Still early, though.
Apparently. We have a lot of Nicole fans in the house. Will you stop playing around?
Can't.
All right.
I heard the Nicole voice, and I just went, oh, boy.
Which was better, Nicole or the Pittsburgh coach for your birthday?
That's not fair. That's not fair. That's a loaded question, because we got Coach Dick LeBeau, who's just acknowledged in the Steeler Ring of Honor on Sunday as they beat the lowly Browns.
Right after he was on this show, he got to. I mean, that's two big things he got to do this week. He got to be on our show, and then.
Yeah, no, that's loaded. That's not fair. That's not fair to either Coach LeBeau or Nicole, because if Coach LeBeau heard that, he'd have been like, "Damn, I'm 82, but that shit still works now."
Yeah, he wouldn't need Viagra for that. All right, let's bring in the host, the real host, the host with the most. He is the sexiest man in the world. Also, shot another 300 last night. So
that's why he called me. Shit, sorry, buddy.
Why don't you ever answer the phone? All right,
dude, it was late.
Something's going on with his camera. So, but apparently, Ocho's does too. JP, what's up, man? What's going on?
Yeah, first and foremost, sincere apologies to all of our viewers for my first time in 139 episodes where my camera decides to take a shit on Wednesday night at 8 p.m. And of course, I don't have my laptop with me, and my iPad is not accessible through Restream. So unfortunately, everybody has the audio version of me tonight. So, or fortunately, I should say.
I mean, you are the sexiest man in the world, so there's going to be a lot of disappointed ladies and men. And
I'll just have to try and replicate Nicole's voice at some point. That way, people think I'm like, the same.
That's fair. That's fair. I could turn my camera off.
Think the same about me. Yeah, definitely.
I could turn my camera off if you guys makes everybody feel better. We could just.
No. You know what? It's okay. I actually don't mind doing the whole show in just the audio format. It gives me freedom to walk around. Let some air under my shirt, shit like that.
You can take your clothes off if you want. I mean, at this point, it doesn't really matter.
He's not wearing anything
my luck
anyway.
What will happen is the camera will start working halfway through.
He ain't wearing anything. We know it.
Look at that loving glance between Parker and I. I mean, what a sweet guy. He really is. He was such.
You look like you just farted, and he's unsure if you think he heard it or not.
No, honestly, it looks like that Parker's like, please don't eat me right now. I love barbecue.
No, really.
You can tell I'm quite a bit larger than Parker there. But,
it looks like you're
Parker's
actually like.
If he could, or he's asking if he could move to the back and sit in that kiddie seat.
So, dude, you just beat me to it. So it looked like they were trying to get us.
Patrick says, "I'm out." He is here. He's waiting in the green room.
Patrick, you're only allowed on if your camera's not working. So
As we always do here on the show, we have a intro package for our guests. So let's look at some let's look at some highlights from the one and only Patrick Dombrowski.
Stuck every shot, didn't pop out of any of them, but Patrick Dombrowski here, he can one up him here. He's got to have a strike here. First ball in the 10th. Dombrowski can still bowl 279.
Colin can't watch, laying down on his back. Pat likes it. Yes, good shot out of Patrick.
Great shot. Let's take a look at the winning shot again right here. Dombrowski, he liked it off his hand. 10 back, and the celebration.
Chuck pitched Pat, picked Pat. Easy for me to say.
Yeah. So I'm 1 for 1.
Great job, Chuck. Great call, buddy.
Yeah, man.
Great championship match right there. Patrick Dombrowski, your 2022 PBA Regional Players Invitational champion.
Patrick's got to rally, refocus. Does have a re-rack if he wants to use it. There's your 1 seed, D. Ron Booker from Albuquerque. Watching this one from just to the side. Dombrowski, huge shot in the 10th, on the left. Left the 7.
Serious?
Unreal. Bill Monty just needs a mark now in the 10th frame.
Disappointing end. Not the way he wanted 9th and 10th to go. One more shot. Belmo in the catbird seat right now and ready to pounce. Whatever this ends up being here in the 10th, great showing from Patrick Dombrowski. Use that motivation, use that time off. Hope to see more of him. Again, the World Series of Bowling fires up next week in Detroit. After that, the TOC. I mean, the back half of this PBA season is loaded with opportunities for people, including this man, Belmo. Needs a mark. Way right of target. Are you kidding me?
I should have stopped. Why didn't I?
Nope. Patrick Dombrowski moves on to the title match at the USBC Masters. He had it, he lost it, and he got it back again.
See the other one. I got to see the other one.
Unbelievable finish.
All right, let's bring him in. He is here every single week in our chat, but now he is finally on the show. The one and only Patrick Dombrowski. What's going on,
guys,
brother?
how's it going?
Hey, Dom, pleasure to see you, brother. I'm sorry you can't fucking see me.
Yeah, I can't see you, so where are you at?
That means I'm more jacked.
But I'm here, dude. It's a pleasure to have you here. Which, by the way, Rob, Patrick, and Ocho, if I happen to cut you off, it's obviously because you can't see me. And, so I apologize in advance if that does happen.
You can't see me.
John Cena entrance.
I was gonna say Patrick's a wrestling fan like me too. So
is he a roller coaster fan too? Is that a roller coaster like that you drew or something? What's that all about? What is that?
Actually, I found it on the internet. I just looked under roller coaster designs and added it to my shirt. Can't really say what it is because it's copyrighted.
It's a career is what it is. Up and down and up and down and up and down. Yep. I'm not poking fun. That's just literally what most bowlers usually go through anyways.
I mean, that's what you've been going through.
That's how it was the first 10 years.
Yeah.
So last couple years have been pretty good.
When Belmo hit that split, what went through your mind?
wow. I heard the phone. There was a lot of phones and pins drop, and I'm shocked that he didn't stop.
Yeah, I know.
He said that. He said I should have stopped. So there was something in the background going on,
yeah,
right?
because Pat stopped too.
There's a phone that dropped.
Yep.
So there was a couple that dropped when I was up there, and I ended up stopping. So, and there was one time I just getting ready to get on the approach, and somebody dropped their phone, and I looked over, and it was Barbara Christman. We were just laughing back and forth.
Oh wow! Whoops. You think people would know better by now?
It's all good.
Pete, obviously great performance at the Masters 2024 Masters. I'm gonna open with a quick question here, simply because I obviously know a little bit more about your bowling history throughout the years, more so than Ocho and Rad Rob. You've always been a what a lot of people that haven't seen enough of you yet, what you always have seemed to do is, I mean, aside from always bowling well, which you do, you've always seemed to really, really bowl well when the lanes are really, really challenging. And that's a mark of a true champion. Do you find that when you hit more challenging conditions, you flat out focus more? Is it simply because you're such a shot maker? Like, what is it that makes you so tough when the condition is tough?
Well, I think a lot of the guys, when I was back home, when I was practicing with them, they wanted to bowl for money. And then we get to the last game, and yeah, you did, Chuck. We get to the last game, I was like, oh, why don't you throw your plastic ball? I was like, okay, because they're already beating me with the other stuff, and I was like 12 years old back then. And then I ended up starting to get sharper with the plastic. So I think that had a lot to do with how well I can throw the ball on tougher conditions.
That's awesome. Do you where's I going with this? So the other question I had a follow up. Do you feel that I mean, aside from using the plastic balls, is it the question I had is you obviously have a very unique ball roll. I don't know what your access point is. Are you close to a full roller? Are you a full roller, or does it just almost appear like that's the rotation on your ball?
I'm actually a high track. It doesn't go over. It goes over my thumb for like the first two rolls, and then it goes out. So sometimes, like if I drill a pin under, you can hear it clip the thumb. But all the other shots, I'm very close.
That's definitely the reason I asked, is because I never hear like a full thump, and I definitely don't hear like the true full roller thump like down lane like from the younger league days. But if you're saying if it's clipping the thumb, now I completely understand it. Thanks for clearing that up.
Yeah, it's just a spare ball now.
Good enough.
So
take it away, Rob.
Take us to that match with D-Ron. Obviously, he's a newcomer. You've been around for a while, but haven't had as much experience on TV. But did you know his game? Did you know what to look for, if he was going to have a good look or not? When you watched him warm up, what were your thoughts going into that final match?
I was actually just trying to focus on my game, just trying to make shots. I saw the ball starting to go straighter down lane. It wasn't picking up where it was the first couple frames. And I asked the ball reps to see if I should hit it or change balls.
Yeah.
And they said, just throw it a little softer. So I was like, okay. And that didn't work. So it just kept on skating through the break point. I just couldn't get the ball to get around the corner. And then 2 shots on the left lane, I threw bad. I think I missed like 3 boards left. And I just paid the price. Just couldn't break up anything. Where D-Ron broke up everything. So
yeah, he did. And sometimes the pins just fall away. You never know what's going to happen. Yeah,
make shots, and hopefully they'll fall.
Where did you learn from that experience?
Just make better shots when you have to. So I just
it's fair.
Trust your instinct when you got to change the ball with surface or switch balls. Just do it yourself if the ball reps don't tell you.
Yeah.
So
Pete,
just a little bit more surface, I think I would have won that match.
Yeah.
Pete, speaking of which, another question for you. Was it more nerve-wracking knocking on the door to make television, or was it more nerve-wracking bowling on television? Or are they two completely different kinds of emotions?
Yes and no. I was just trying to make shots and try to win my matches, and then worry about it later when I get on the show. I was just trying. I'm over the nervousness right now, so I'm just trying to make shots and win some titles.
That's awesome. And speaking of which, what are your plans now for this upcoming season?
I am going to bowl full time, so starting with Delaware. So
Nice.
all the travel arrangements are set, hotels are booked, so I'm ready for 2025.
That's awesome. Absolutely awesome.
That is great. Because actually, Johnny, that was my next question. So good one on you. What do you? Obviously, your hopes are to win next year, but I mean, realistically, what are your? Just say what's your lowest hanging fruit. What's the one goal that you want to reach short of winning? Is there anything you want to obviously cash every week? But I mean, what are your goals?
Yeah, every year it's like cashing in every tournament I bowl in. Try to get a title, at least one a year. That's pretty much my goals every year, and then just try to get the top 12 and try to compete for the playoffs.
What do you think has held you back so far? If you had to look back since you've started, why do you think you haven't had as much success as you should have? Because obviously you're a great bowler. I mean,
I've only bowled part-time, so because of my job. Because I was able to bowl a few tournaments last year because I was able to work from home.
I gotcha.
So I can actually do it in the hotel, and then on the off qualifying times, and then go back to bowling, and then just do it all again whenever I can. So now since I got laid off in March, to just focus on bowling, just practice my butt off and get out there and make shots and try to win.
And Rob, just to feed off what he just said there, like, you got to remember, number one, it's hard enough being a part-time player against the full-time players out there.
Right.
And but the other part about it is even with being a part-time player, P-Dom, you're always in the hunt. It's never like you go and you enter a tournament and you're not knocking on the door in some way, shape, or form. I mean, even the weeks that like you're way out of making the cut, you're still somewhere around even or plus. You're still grinding, and I think that speaks volumes of your game. Also, that I know a lot of people probably don't realize that until you're especially out there experiencing it. If you're out there part time against full time, you have the week to week. You got all the other big guns telling you the moves to make, and the ball reps helping you with choices and making sure your ball's getting drilled on the truck. A lot of that plays into the guys that are at the absolute top on tour right now. So I don't think it's a knock at all on what's happened in your career so far. Obviously, I mean, Central Region Player of the Year. I know. Didn't you win the RPI too? Did we miss that, or am I?
Actually, it's 11 RPI titles. By the way, it's not 10.
11, son of a bitch. That's the last update I got.
I did get back to back. So 23 and 24, I got it.
Sorry,
so I couldn't find 24 on YouTube. They haven't posted it yet, so I'm still.
Yeah, I couldn't find it either. I was going off. Yeah, I'm sorry. I was going off of YouTube and the Googler.
Yeah.
So that's.
I gotta get the Bowl TV and then download that for myself.
Way to go, Rob. Way to go.
No, that's my bad. No, that's my bad.
That number's going to change too because now that he's full time, I think if anything, given it's full time now and not part time, that just means a brighter time too. I feel like because without the hangups of work and wondering which tournament you're going to be able to bowl in, like, dude, now you're in like that. I feel like that pressure's kind of off. You're already set, so. That might even be like, all right, now it's time to freaking get the shit going.
Yeah, just trying to practice my butt off, and then just when I'm out there, make shots and stay ahead of the transitions, and go.
And not worry about having to go to fucking work.
Right, I can actually get better rest.
This is work now. This is your job, and now, like, think about like Johnny was saying, like part time, you're still grinding, and yet you still have all this other backstory going on, and now it's like, all right, guys. Got that half of the brain taken care of now. I'm here. Heads up. I know you're not thinking that, but in a way, I mean, that sets you up a lot better mentally for sure. I got to figure, if I'm not playing in your brain or anything, but it just seems like if you're already doing that, then heads up.
Yeah, I got one less thing to worry about when I get done bowling.
True.
Basically, you got to worry about bowling again. Just strike more. Just strike more.
It definitely has to take a lot of stress off you because you have more opportunity to bowl now. You have more chances to win titles. You don't have to worry about going back home and going back to work. I mean, you can just focus on one thing, and that's got to be a little bit freeing for sure.
Oh yeah, even at the RPI, I was like bowling, working, trying to get a couple hours of sleep, and then just repeating again. So luckily, I got the first round bye last year at the RPI, so I was able to get some more rest. So.
Patrick, going out for a full-time season on tour, here's a question I'm sure a lot of viewers are intrigued by your answer. How many bowling balls do you start the journey with? Like, how many are you putting in the car, and how many, like, are you a ball whore? Do you like to drill a lot when you're on tour? Like, what is your plan of attack as far as arsenal to start the season compared to, like, and what is to be?
It just depends on the pattern, what they posted first. So the first one I'm flying to, so I'll probably just take maybe 6 or 9 with me and then drill some on the truck if needed. And then the other 2 I can probably drive to and then leave them on the truck and then go to Missouri and Reno. So, and then see what happens out there. If I have to drill some more. If not, I'll just bring some more with me. So I know the ball reps are going to be busy for a couple tournaments because there's 250 bowlers at the World Series, so that's going to be hard to go back and forth to everybody. So
sure, understood.
So just depends on the size of the field too.
And that's a good base. Good, Rob. Sorry.
I'm sorry. I was going to ask this, but James Sellers wanted to ask it as well. Do you have to bowl the PTQs, or are there any tournaments where you're in the field?
The only one I don't have to bowl, or everyone, I'm in the main field. The only one I can't bowl yet is the tournament champions. So I plan on changing that before, hopefully.
Gotcha.
Fucking A. That's badass right there.
Now that's a lot less stress than as well. Not having to grind through the PTQs like D-Ron did and Boog did this year, and
especially if I'm in the hunt. I was like, that might knock me out if I don't make it. So
no, that's true. That's true. Well, that's
even though it's 30 minutes from my house.
Now I'm not sure how the rules work. Like how are you able to be in the main field for most of the tournaments? Just
I was I was 31st in points.
In points.
Top 43 and the top 12 automatically get exempt spots.
Okay. Well, that's another thing I didn't know. That's fantastic.
Yep.
What are you throwing right now? What do you like? Anything new coming out? What's your arsenal like right now?
Yeah, I might not be able to say this, but trussels and tropicals are mostly. We don't have any oil around here. So
drop holes and Columbia U-Dot is what I used to use. That's a theme, Christmas theme. We use bowling balls now, right?
Yeah.
I'm not. The pieces are there. Don't act like I'm off, Rob. Come on.
You're
I'm laughing. You just can't see it.
Brian Olson says, really wish they still had the U.S. Open in North Brunswick. Yeah, agreed. There's a lot of things about North Brunswick that we wish could be different, but
you couldn't say that any better.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even like calling it North Brunswick, for Christ's sakes.
It's the first tournament I ever saw in real person time. Real Ocho.
You know what it does to me to not want to bowl in my home center that I grew up in anymore? I don't bowl there anymore.
You really? Not at all? Really?
No, I moved over to Perth Amboy. I'm at Majestic. That's my new Carolier when I'm in central North Jersey. Yeah, it's not even what I remember it in any capacity anymore, which is a sin.
And that Parker and I talked about Bradley Bowl yesterday too at lunch, and he said he was actually there a couple years ago, and he gave me a rundown of what it looks like there, and they've pretty much just walled off the lanes into 3 different sections and have a giant bar in the middle, and like the first 1 through 4 or 1 through 8 are VIP lanes, and they don't even use all 44 anymore, and they moved Litchie's Pro Shop down from 1 and 2 to the other end behind 43 and 44 where they used to have the league offices and all that. And then I guess last year or a year ago, they kicked them out completely. So Mike Lichtenstein is no longer affiliated with that building after 40 years. So
they're doing that a lot to a lot of the centers around here.
Are they really?
Yeah, they're tearing down some lanes and putting in a big arcade area.
Now, where are you in Ohio, Patrick?
I'm just south of Cleveland.
Because I graduated Youngstown State, so I used to bowl at Wedgwood Lanes, Amron.
You're by Barta.
Basically all the places Adam Barta bowled. We bowled a lot of leagues together when I was in college, and a lot of those centers, granted, most of them were wood when I was in college still, in like 05 to 08. But hear about a lot of them closing down, and it's just you just hear it over and over again, and it's so sad to hear, especially in like the bowling belt in a state like Ohio. I mean,
I know Holiday's still there. Barta always posts live on there, and then Amron's still there too because we had a regional a few years.
Now, is Wedgwood gone? I'm pretty sure it might
I have
be.
not bowled there, so I'm not sure.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. And I'm sure I'll think of a couple of the other ones I bowled at throughout the course of this podcast tonight. But either way, yeah. I was just kind of curious whereabouts you were. So, like, how far are you from, say, like, Stonehenge in Akron?
About 40 minutes. I'm about a half hour from Fairlawn for the TOC.
Oh, perfect. That's right. You just said that earlier. Got it.
Yeah. I'm actually probably in January, I'll probably head down there for a couple sessions with Donnie Hogue.
Excellent.
Just to get used to hopefully I can make it past the TLC this year.
I mean, you're pretty centralized there in Ohio. I mean, you can hit a lot of points from there, which is pretty cool that you don't have to worry about.
I think the farthest regional is like 5 hours in Woodland Bowl.
Yeah. What's your home center?
Yorktown Lanes and Spins Bowl.
Gotcha.
So Yorktown held the national tour a couple years back in the 80s.
I think, yep. I think I actually remember that.
And then Buckeye Lanes was for, I don't know, 20 years maybe, if that. I'm not sure.
Rex Rager says Wedgwood is gone. So that answers your question there, Junior.
Thank you, Rex. Appreciate that.
Going back to Chuck Ritchie's question about the RPI, I was eligible last year to win. I did go to the TLC field, but the year before, they didn't offer it that year for the 2023. So I think this year they're doing it in Reno this year, and I think the winner does get the TLC berth.
Oh, here's a question for you, P. Dom. Do you have a favorite city to visit throughout the course of the bowling season?
If there's an amusement park open, that's probably the better one to go to.
Cold water.
For what reasons? Oh, did you say an amusement park? Did I mishear you?
Of course, yeah. Got to ride some coasters.
Excellent.
Got to take my mind off of bowling for a while.
That's a good answer. Obviously, somebody like me would say any place with tequila and slot machines.
That's anywhere.
Everybody's got their own flavor. So I was curious what yours was.
So, are you like a rolling coaster enthusiast? Like, do you try like all over the country? You have to find out if there's an amusement park, and you got to ride.
I haven't traveled that far out of the country. We're actually going to Florida tomorrow, so we'll be down there, SeaWorld and Busch Gardens to ride a few rides in Universal. And because we were supposed to have a regional in ULE for the member-non-member, I was supposed to bowl with Sean Riccardi. He's all right. And
yeah, he's not bad.
He's okay.
Yeah, he's okay.
He's over 128 pounds now, so that's good. That's what's important.
Are you sure about that?
Actually, I'm not sure about that, but he's Sean's great. Sean's a friend of the show. Actually, where's Sean been, the little fucker?
I don't know. We might see him next this weekend, so I'll let him know.
Well, you tell him he's still see-through.
Tell him I still wish I was him as far as bowling skill and talent.
Yeah, because the first time I met him, we just got off the plane to Reno. We were bowling the Bowler's Journal, and we just got there, and he ended up shooting 300 right out the plane. I was like, Jesus! First time I ever met him.
That must be nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He throws it pretty good.
Sean was one of the first. Sean was when I entered the Middlesex County Majors at Carolier Lanes. I must have been in either my late teens or my early 20s. One of my first official adult leagues. The studs in that league were Mike Reisner, Sean Riccardi, Rusty Thompson, J.D. Santalucia. It was Darian LeMay. I mean, just an absolute mob squad of talent.
Dude, Sean and Mike Reisner bowled on the same team on a cleaners league one year. Like,
it's like the scariest combo I could think of.
What are you gonna do?
He's cleaning up down south too, I hear.
Oh yeah, he's doing just fine down there in Florida.
Yep.
Florida's a hotbed of bowling now. It really is. There's a lot of good bowlers out of Florida.
Always have been.
No, let's not get it twisted. He's out of the Northeast, where they.
Well, I mean, obviously, but there's a lot of transplants there, but obviously, but anyway, getting back to roller coasters because I fucking hate them completely. But I am.
Because you don't fit on them. That's why.
You're such a dick. But I do watch
on this one. Hey, you know that the height thing at the amusement park? It says you got to be this tall. There's one that says you got to be this wide too. And Rob's like, God damn it! I stole that from Family Guy, by the way.
If there's one click in the seatbelt, I'm good. Is it a little thing that pushes down on you?
I stole that from Family Guy. So Peter gets on an amusement park ride, and he opens up his mouth, and his organs shoot out the mouth because he's stuck inside.
I just don't like the feeling of my stomach into my throat. I just never have. But I do watch them on YouTube a lot because
there's not enough room for that either.
Yeah, no,
I have my GoPro this week, so I'll be posting a few.
What's some of your favorite rides that you've been on?
Actually, the one in the background is Banshee down at Kings Island. That's pretty good. All the Bolliger and Mabillard coasters, they're pretty smooth.
Where does Nitro rank? I'm a local.
I haven't been to that park yet.
Oh, Christ.
Well, I'll tell you this much, Ocho. I'm assuming that PDOM, you've been on Millennium Force at Cedar Point. What do you think of that
bunch of times. That's my home park.
Heck yeah. I was the first time my poor mother had to get me on the Magnum when it was like the tallest one there was, like 240 feet or whatever this had to be. Jesus,
205.
There you go, Mike. Thank you. My poor mother, I still have that picture to this day, and then we had gone back years later and gotten on Millennium Force. That one is about as close to Nitro here at Six Flags Great Adventure in New Jersey that I've been on.
I heard they're tearing down King Ka and Chang, Riddler's Revenge.
It's never worked.
King Ka's having all sorts of problems.
Yep.
It's never worked, really. It's always out this shit.
Yeah, that's not exactly the coaster you want to have a lot of problems on.
No kidding. It's the highest one in the freaking on the East Coast.
Well, that was that beat out Dragster, but Dragster switched over to Top Thrill 2, but it was only open a week. I was able to ride it a few times, luckily, before they shut it down.
That's right,
No, you were able to survive it, luckily, before they shut it down. When they got to tear a roller coaster down, there's a reason.
Yeah.
So I used to go on this thing.
It was a prototype.
I used to literally look at these things about. I hate to say it. It's called roller coaster deaths. And
good, Rob. Good.
Also,
good, Oach.
A lot of my patients were engineers and for Great Adventure, and we had this one called Medusa. And
I love Medusa.
No, is it Medusa?
They turned Medusa to Bizarro, but it used Medusa the.
No. It's called. Shit! It wasn't that one. Either it was a roller coaster, but they didn't have enough land, so they shrunk everything in, and the turns were tighter and everything, and it gave so many people whiplash they had to tear it down because it still followed the code, but turns and the guy was like, "Oh yeah, they do that all the time here. We have to figure out where we can find our loops and find our land."
I think you're talking about Viper.
Viper. Did you just say Viper?
Yep.
Yes, it's the Viper. That's the one. That's the guy.
Yeah, they had to get rid of the full loops and turn them into just the corkscrews, and then they put the design around the corkscrew to make it look more bad. Yeah, that thing would fucking snap your neck.
That's literally what it would do. It would you'd walk out and you'd be like instant. Well, shit, Rolling Thunder was an instant headache at the end of its time, but I should have walked out there with a table.
I love the Brian Olsen just talking about. I'm sitting here thinking about Scream Machine and Rolling Thunder right now. Yeah. Like, which one do I want to get on?
Wasn't bad. That was
a lot of ride enthusiasts apparently.
Is that still there?
Hey, I have them on my shirts.
Hell yeah!
That was really cool.
Book. All the shit that I always observe. I've never observed that before. I cannot wait to fucking look at all of them now.
The Scream Machine took over the Sarajevo bobsled way back in the day. But the Scream Machine was kind of a smooth ride. I don't remember it being too jolty or anything. Like
Scream Machine was okay. It had 7 loops. The problem was the main loop had a defect in it that was not strong enough that they even noticed it. But I think that's eventually the reason why they got rid of Scream Machine.
Dude, stands in my.
Well, shit. I mean, it must have taken 25 years. It's not like it's just, we found this defect. 25 years later.
Fucking Stan.
And 4 aneurysms.
Yeah, exactly.
I grew up in going to Riverside Park in Agawam, and Cyclone back then was like the largest wooden roller coaster.
So that was also Coney Island, too.
It was also Coney Island.
Really? Was it?
That was my mother and father's first actual date.
No shit.
Oh, yeah.
That's really cool. Yeah, I rode that once, and that's why I don't ride roller coasters.
You take it to the amusement park so you can hold them in and be like, "Oh, I got you.
It's safer than driving a car,
right?
It has to be,
especially when Ocho's driving.
So, Jay, going back to Magnum. My fiance she doesn't like that ride because it's too rickety. So I'm going on. Luckily, I got my phone with me. I get stuck on the top of the hill.
Come on!
Right before the block breaks. So they come up to us and we got to do a walk down. Before we got to the walk down, I was taking pictures because I was like, it was cool up there.
You're a sick son of a
dude.
bitch.
Well, there's each wooden coaster does have steps next to it, or every coaster actually does.
Yeah.
But like, what if one person gets antsy and pushes? Like, there's a freaking big camaraderie domino thing going on there.
Yeah, they only let so many at once.
Yeah, probably
Just
one.
in case. Yeah.
Bro, my biggest fear of roller coasters is as I'm going to the top, ever having to use those fucking stairs.
100%.
100%. Or as soon as I get to the top, my harness comes off.
And it's funny because I like roller coasters, but I hate heights more than anything. I want to be checking out. I can't even get on a roof. I get so fucked up.
So how does that work then?
Millennium, you only go up 10 seconds and you're done.
Exactly. That's why I like Millennium and Nitro so much. You get up there, it's quick, and you're done.
That's true.
About the sunrise tour.
That's what Kindakawa is. Kindakawa is you're up, you're down. It's just you may not survive because the fucking ride sucks.
Yeah, but imagine being 200 feet higher than Magnum and being stuck and there are no stairs.
That's awful.
Well, there was one time that dragster got stuck on the lip going over the top hat.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, they had to push it over.
Fuck that.
That's very rare.
Yeah, oh my God. I'm out. No, that's where my anxiety kicks in, and I couldn't do that.
We did the sunrise tour on Valraven over at Cedar Point. We were able to take the elevator up to it was 220 feet. Walked around the catwalk before the coaster dives, and we had some good pictures from there. It was pretty cool.
That's pretty cool.
We were tied off.
Give me that.
This counts as unfettered, right? Or is it what's the other intro we have? We have a good intro that explains this. That's all.
Explains what?
Rad Rob, unfettered, full access to the mind of the Rad Rob, Radical Rob guy. Let's see, what else does it say?
A hard-hitting, in-depth, cutting-edge look into bowling.
Into bowling. Uncut, undepth.
Where are you going with this?
Let's see.
Have you been drinking?
I'm trying to think of where this lies into our intro.
It doesn't. Other than real life issues.
It really doesn't.
If you're stuck at the top, it's a real life issue.
It could. Oh, that's what it is.
We talk about real life issues.
That's what it is. And real life issues. There it is.
That's how long it took you to get there?
Yeah. The host of the show now.
All right, that's enough. Shut up.
That's why he's a co-host and will never be the host because of shit like that. But
actually, Johnny nailed it.
Anyway, I mean, we talk about bowling too much. I like getting off topic sometimes and talking about other shit. Fuck.
Got to. That's pretty much what I talk about, and that's it.
Hey, Dom, I'll go back and I'll completely ruin it for everybody.
Go back to bowling, aren't you?
Way to go, Johnny.
You're a great guest of the show always. I'll just give me it doesn't even have to be of all time. Just give me 5 of the best bowling balls you've ever thrown.
That's usually we give that to everybody, so that's good.
I know they're not ASIMs. Well, one's an ASIM. One's a reality because I won the RPI with it.
Okay.
Probably the Fate, and then a lot of people laugh at me for this, but the Avalanche from Brunswick was pretty good.
The blue and red one?
Yeah.
Love that ball. Totally understand.
And then the current ones, the Hustle and Fate and Tropicals.
You know, what's so funny is that Fate, it's typically when you see a lot of tour guys throwing a specific ball, you know it's obviously good. Phase 2s, as you know, as you just said, realities,
Shenton Star,
Venom Shocks, just to name a few. I didn't see a lot of people throw the Fate very often.
A lot of guys. I didn't really see that many. I saw a few, but not many. I'm not sure. I think it was. I'm not sure why they didn't throw it. It was pretty good.
Yeah, I always thought so too. I thought the Pro Motion was a really, really great ball too, and I never saw a lot of people throw that. But then again, the ball reaction of the Fate to me, even though it can cover a lot of boards, seems like it's very predictable in the mids. It seems like a ball
the Fate was pretty smooth, but the Journey just a little bit too early for me. I couldn't really get it down lane as much as the Fate did.
Interesting. Okay. And what's the issue with ASIMs for you?
I already have my bowling ball starting early. I don't need it to start earlier than that because of my high track. So that's probably why I throw a lot of the entry level pieces, depending on the pattern.
So when you go to a tournament, say on a lane surface that typically has very little friction to it, and combined with that, you're bowling on 47 feet or 48 feet. Is your brain even considering asim, or are you touching surface on symmetrical covers? Or
probably both, just to start out, see what it does, and then if it doesn't, just too much or not enough, or it just starts burning up, I'll go to the symmetrical pieces. Kind of like the U.S. Open on the 49-foot flat pattern. I think I threw the Harsh Reality came out at that time?
Yes.
That thing went like dead straight, and I ended up throwing. What did I throw? The Summit, actually. And now it actually worked a lot better.
Isn't that crazy, Rad Rob? The amount of variables that can dictate anything at any time in our sport. No, having to be aware of all of them.
Yeah, no, it is. And I was going to ask, like, have you tried adjusting anything to try to get some of those balls to work, like hand position or...
Yeah, with my game, I think my symmetrical pieces work a little better. So it just depends on the pattern and the surface too, because woodland starts up early. So I think that's where the harsh was like dying out.
Yeah, I noticed in that intro because you're really on the inside of the ball too. Like you have it's hard to get. There's 8 wrist bones and there's a whole bunch of ligaments in there that don't want the wrist to supinate further than it should, and you get really on the inside of it. And I assume that's why you choose the bowling ball you do, because you're getting around it a lot, obviously, and that's as far as I know, because I'm an amateur. I'm the guy that does this. Remember that. So what I noticed is the setup, but then I can't see much after that. So does that have a factor in what ball you choose or which ones you want? I assume.
Well, it just depends on how practice goes and stuff like that, and how it's playing down and how much you're. So you can
flatten. You'll taper. You'll stay under a little bit or stay behind it more. Sometimes I gotta figure.
Yeah, I'll change my hand position depending on what it needs to be. So usually I just keep it the same position and just move my eyes mostly. Sometimes too, if I don't have anything left or right.
So I'm going to assume you've been staying away from urethane for the most part, then.
What's that?
Makes sense.
Hey, there's something you don't hear a lot of people say
ever. I mean, other than EJ doesn't.
I'll throw mixes more than urethane because those were a little better.
Yeah,
dude.
So I actually threw it in. Where was it? I think it was in down south at one of the tournaments. I think it was in Oviedo. I ended up one spot out of the stepladder. I threw it the last couple games. So it was on 38 feet, I think. That surface was dry.
You know, you're not alone here, bro. In this era, I'd rather throw an axe over a black hammer. I'd rather throw a rubber LT over a pitch black. I mean, I'd rather throw a T-zone over a purple hammer. I am so not your generic left-hander, especially. So I totally understand that when you say you prefer to throw mixes.
Yeah, urethane doesn't really work for me. It just starts up early and stops, which I try to hit it more, and it just doesn't want to do anything.
Sure. Yep.
Unless I got to hit it with more surface.
Yep. Totally agree on my end.
The ball's dying off as it hits, like almost like a rollout almost, or I'm not saying it's rolling out, but like it doesn't drive, I guess. It just kind of loses its...
Yeah, just like flat 8-10s, flat 5-pin, 5-10 pin.
Oh, shit. Oh, that's
imagine
that's what a rollout used to do, actually.
Yeah.
Oh, just imagine you're in league, and those first 3 shots you go that you feel like you threw really good. You go bucket, flat 10, 2-pin, and then the next one you're like, all right, I'm going to pull my eyes a little bit closer, but this one I'm going to hit, and then it goes dead through the face for a big 4.
You hit the nose, and you're right. I got you.
Like, so what's your move from there? I mean, it's a tricky ball, especially for. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, sometimes it's just instead of moving left to right, it's more like front to back with your eyes.
Absolutely.
You know what? By the way, here on Straight Up 5, that's probably one of the first. That's the first time I think anyone's ever said that. Right?
I think you're right, Oach.
Because I have every show memorized too. You know, as Coach LeBeau knows, I got a steel trap brain. So that's got to be one of the first times anyone's ever said front to back rather than left to right, because every move is hand position, ball change, left, right. No one's ever said front to back, longer, shorter. So that's pretty fucking
It just
wild.
depends on the pattern, too. Because usually I'll look at the arrows, and then if the arrows are just starting up too early, I look maybe a foot or two past and see what happens.
Interesting. So
shit, that makes sense too. That takes
does.
a little of that math out of it too. Then the whole 40 foot got to move to whatever the fuck it is. I don't know.
you're absolutely right. No one's ever broke that down or mentioned that at all.
Yeah, like the arrows are at a certain line. Okay, well, what the fuck? Why not? What if it's a foot farther than that?
Well, some guys look down at their feet. Some guys look at the dots. Some guys look at the arrows. You never know what it's going to be. It could be personal.
I look at the chick with the awesome ass while I'm bowling. Always.
Yeah, but I never thought of looking past.
Seriously, I'll give you like this. I got a good range of motion. I have a neck, unlike Rob.
So do you do you feel hindered or limited because of the balls that you like and the balls that you don't really, you can't use because of your style?
Well, I can throw all of them. It just depends on the pattern and who you're following, too. So it just depends on how they're breaking them down, really. And how much urethane or surface they're using, too.
So it's not that you wouldn't ever use them. It's just a personal preference to use.
I would rather use resin than urethane.
Gotcha. No. Okay. DJ
That's why I throw mostly the entry-level stuff.
Is there a little more room for error with that? Maybe, like you said, like with urethane, if as soon as it starts to die, you have nothing. So,
yeah, for me, there's more room, but with urethane, I had to split boards.
Yeah, that's right. And while I'm sure you can, it's hard to do it for an 8-game block too.
Yeah, maybe 2-3, but no more than that.
So you're here every week. You know the discussions that we have, and we've never had a chance to talk to you about it, but there's been a lot going on lately about league bowlers, and J.R. Raymond's been talking about it a lot. Obviously, you've bowled against him before. I don't know if you guys are friends or anything, but I don't know if you saw any of his recent videos, but he talks about a lot of the pretentious league bowlers, like the 220 averages that think that they can go out there and dictate and think they're king shit around, the rest of the house hacks, and why, leagues aren't as important as they used to be.
I stopped bowling leagues a long time ago. It just I would rather practice for 5 games, get in an hour instead of being 3 games for 3 hours. But I'll sub occasionally, but I've been subbing a lot of times on Friday so far because the one guy I bowl for, he hurt his knee. So I don't mind doing that once in a while, but not all the time.
So you would just rather practice than okay.
Right. That's a good money league, so I don't mind bowling.
Right. Well, do you think there's a lot of guys that because of the house shot that they're better? They think they're better than they actually are, and they think they can compete on the tour.
All I can say is go out there and try.
Right.
Let me know.
Yeah.
Or if we run a sweeper with a sport pattern on, nobody will show up.
Right. That's true.
So,
that's true. A lot of them are all talk, and they're all. I find them every day in the Facebook threads, and they're hilarious to read. But apparently Stan's not a fan of J.R. Raymond, so
I see that.
Shocker.
I haven't talked to him in a while. I mostly talked to him just at the regional stops.
I mean, he has a point in a lot of stuff that he puts out. I mean, he speaks his mind, and his videos are, you can call them edgy or controversial, but I mean, he's just telling it the way he feels. And there's a lot of credence to what he says. I've been meaning to cover it here in the last couple of weeks. We just haven't been around to doing it, but I respect his opinion. I mean, and he's a great bowler. So I mean, everybody's entitled to their opinion, and you can either like it or you don't. It's
I did see his one where pro shops charge like different prices, which that I understand, because how do you know a guy's roll if you're going to drill it for him and he doesn't like it if he's only averaging 190?
That's true. Johnny, you ever run into stuff like that when you were out in the pro shops?
Oh, I mean, as much as anybody else, especially in Vegas, I've always tried to make sure that when somebody was on the fence or I could tell that somebody knew their shit, especially my first order of business. And I was fronted this luxury at the station properties in Vegas. I was always allowed to offer 2 free games to any customer that ever walked in. And so like at particular at Sunset Station in Henderson, I would walk out of my shop turn to the right, go to the desk, give them a card, flip on the pair directly in front of me, which because most of the leagues and open play took place on lanes like 30 through 70, and my shop was right around like 15, 16. And the first thing I would always do is exactly that, was let's see what you have existing. And if they had that ball with them, let's go find the PAP. Let's go see what kind of speed that they throw the ball, what kind of rev rate they have, just to give them the best pick. But then the thing that I always did that was always a little bit different than most ball drillers that I've met is the first thing I would always ask somebody when it came to them wanting a new ball was, and asking them about the ball that they were currently using, would always be, do you like the way anything feels? And like 8 out of 10 people would always say to me, this is the best ball I've ever had drilled. It fits my hand so perfectly. Unfortunately, the guy that used to drill my stuff no longer has a shop. He doesn't have a drill press.
That's right.
And whenever they would say that to me, I would always say back to them, would you like me to match it to try and make it feel exactly the same? And they would always say, if you could, that would be awesome. So right there was almost like my test to earn a customer. And then from there, over time, if I would ever notice that they not only would want to come in and drill more bowling balls, from there I would say, hey, look, the more I see you bowl now, I know you may think this feels good, but I don't think you know what great feels like yet. Because that big callus on the side of your thumb, I can get rid of that by simply changing your pitch by like an 1/8 or 3/16 in a different direction. And they took more to me for allowing them to tell me what they already liked. It's just like any other business of selling when you're in the pro shop. So when you dedicate that much time, you're giving somebody $8, $9 sometimes in free games. You're offering them the experience of getting a ball drilled. Like, I'm much more likely to buy a golf driver if somebody wanted to take the time and measure my swing speed or my launch angle and like talk about my height and what kind of like grip size I wanted on the shaft. Do I want it stiff? Do I want it regular? Do I want 63 grams? Whatever it may be. A pro shop operator like that warrants the higher pay to drill such a bowling ball. Whereas if you're going to walk into a regular Joe Blow shop where they don't give a shit about you, they're just simply there to make their profits. They want to make their $60, $70, $80 on their $120 investment in, say, a Storm Shorelock. For some reason, it's the first ball I'm thinking of on my wall. I know that's a long time ago. You're not going to get nearly what you would get out of the people that are dedicating their time. The flip side of that is it's also very difficult to do that with every single customer when you're in a busy shop. So like a place like Sunset Station, a lot of times I would sell and drill 20 to 25 bowling balls a day in 7 hours.
Oh, shit.
And that's like this. And this is along with, I need a plug, a thumb plug. I need an interchangeable thumb made. I need a mold poured. I need this. I need a ball bag shoe combo. There was always something else going on. And to be truthful, if you're always just honest with people in the shop and they're buying you more than the product itself.
Mm-hmm.
Always.
That's in every facet too, really. I mean, let's be honest. Whether you're hair cutting, whether you're Ocho, everybody.
Absolutely Ocho.
Yeah, I was working the booth over in Syracuse one year, and this was way back when we had the weight hole still, and there were some bowling balls coming to us, 1.5 ounce side weight. I was like, are you serious? Who drilled your stuff? They have no clue how to drill.
Yep.
There was a lot.
All the time, dude. All the time. It's crazy. It's highway robbery.
Yeah.
It absolutely is.
And again, there's a lot more amateurs than pros, so like we really got screwed, I guess.
Well, dude, think about like sending that guy out that's getting into bowling, and he goes and he decides to bowl. I don't know, I don't know if they still do weigh-ins at regionals, but let's just say that they did. What if that guy at that time was to go to a regional and make it, and he was randomly selected to have his equipment weighed?
And none of his shit qualifies.
Yeah.
And he walked out of that pro shop, and the guy says, of course it's legal. Look, I'll put it on the scale for you. First off, the guy doesn't know how to fucking read the dodo scale.
Right.
No.
I mean, how many people do? And I mean, yeah, it's shit like that's upsetting about the industry.
Yeah, it's just crazy on how many drillers did not know how to weigh their stuff.
100%.
Because I'm that 220 bowler Rob's talking about and all the other guys, except I'm not arrogant and I'm not a 220 bowler. But I don't know shit about fucking drilling or anything. Like, I know God's honest truth, I just don't. I'd like
drill
to.
3 holes and that's it.
I was a physics major, like I'm a science major. I probably could figure it out. Just not gonna. Got enough on my plate. But I can get it off my hand, and I'm using inferior equipment, much like when Phil Mickelson said that about Tiger, and I'm still. But either way, that's not the point. But because I could be told, like if John Fury said, well, this has a schematic zone spectrometer rate of 18.24, and I'd be like, that sounds great. What's 18.25? I wouldn't know to ask that, and I made all that shit up. But if somebody said that to you, not you, but they go, oh, that sounds great. I doubt that happens.
Yeah.
But that's I'm still that guy. But I got him.
And you have me too.
I was pointing to you. That's where it's hard to do opposite.
Got it. I'm pointing right back at you, Oj.
No, I
Sorry,
totally
my
see
daughter.
it. You're doing it great. No, you're doing opposite too. What the fuck?
Sorry, my daughter didn't realize I didn't have my green screen up, so she just came waltzing in the room.
She's always welcome.
She's so funny. So, PD, you're a big wrestling fan, right?
Yeah, I got The Miz as my strike song.
That's right. Actually, I forgot about that. Are you still watching currently?
I have been, but I haven't been watching lately. So I kind of ran out of cable, so I've been like a month behind.
Ah, I gotcha. Okay.
No, I got the pay-per-views though.
Nice.
So.
Yeah, I mean, ever since
Peacock
Triple H
has all this shit now.
ever since Triple H took over, it's definitely gotten a lot better. I stopped watching, previously the last couple of years because it was just insulting my intelligence. Like it wasn't, it's just the same stupid shit every week.
Yeah, it's going to Netflix January 1st or whatever that day is.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
So we'll see.
Ocho used to watch.
See what they do.
Ocho hasn't watched since 1984. So
when Bob Backlund beat George the Animal Steele, that was fucking awesome. And it was 1982. Crap.
Sorry, 82. My bad. Now you just watch that.
Yeah, I think I was 4.
84. This Hogan, I don't know whatever the fuck his name is. He started doing something.
Ocho likes to watch that fake amateur wrestling shit. So
no, that's true. That's true.
Johnny hasn't watched since Stone Cold Steve Austin. So
no. That was around the time I exited the WWF.
Oh, you didn't even get to see the good shit then,
Johnny. What was what was?
I was a diehard Bret Hitman Hart fan.
When Randy Peterson threw you through the bed, what year was that again?
That was when I had the four pillows: Macho Man, I think it was Jake the Snake,
the
Ultimate Warrior, and Hogan.
The wrestling buddies.
Ultimate Warrior was the realest wrestler ever. He would have fucking.
Yeah, so that was. What year was that? That was like 1990.
It's got to be 92, maybe
92, 93-ish.
I think 90 through 93. Yeah, somewhere around there.
You can't say it after I said it and he said it. You fucking idiot.
No, I'm just
seriously, Rob. Go find your neck.
First of all, I said it as he said it, and Rob's like, "Yeah, it's probably around 92, 93."
He's such a fucking douchebag. So, who are your favorites of all time then?
Besides the Ultimate Warrior.
Fuck you, Johnny. I want to talk to you.
I just watch it for it's better than SNL skits. That's all I watch.
Fair. That's fair. No, that is.
I have every SNL skit memorized too, so I guess
it's a guy's soap opera.
It really is. But I mean, how long have you been watching?
Since I was smaller, so I got into it in and out a couple years, and then I got back into it a little bit. So,
well, smaller is a very vague answer. Like, who were your guys back then, man? Were you all right? Let's think about this. Now, obviously,
were you
the Ultimate Warrior
a
came out, and you heard that music. You got freaking so shredded up, you were freaking jacked to the max, right?
Well, of course. Well, we actually went to.
Now we got a piece. Now we're unfettered.
Yeah, we were at Richfield Coliseum at the one pay-per-view, and I think it was like 6 or something. They had Hulk Hogan against Big Boss Man in a steel cage. That was pretty cool.
Oh yeah,
that was the old blue one too. The fucking that was the new blue one, which was then now the old blue one. But yeah, no shit, fucking A, man.
Ocho.
So familiar.
You're talking about the Warrior, dude. I still remember the ice cream man coming around and getting the wrestling ice cream bars that had the cookie on the front. The ice cream
they were delicious.
They were really good.
And the box gave you their stats. I still remember it reading that Hogan was 303 pounds and the Warrior was 275.
302.
Yep.
Thank you. Eat
303.
my ass, bro. It was 303.
Well, it shouldn't have been because he was always 303 pounds.
No, it was 303. Johnny's right.
I am right. that bastard.
Ocho, you can't fight me when it comes to wrestling knowledge, Ocho. You can keep your stupid football knowledge. But no,
another one. We saw Chris Benoit in the one before he passed.
Oh man, I still can't talk about him.
Yeah,
I loved watching him. He was one of my guys.
It was like early 2000s, I think. We had free tickets.
Dude, what about when Owen Hart with that aerial entrance? Remember that?
I didn't see that. I don't remember that one.
Oh, dude, I was watching it live, and they kept going back to Jerry Lawler in the booth, and he said he kept saying this is not part of the show. Something has happened, a malfunction, and this and that.
And it's the Kemper Arena in St. Louis, I believe.
You got me there.
But it was back in '99. It was over the edge, '99.
Yep.
Okay, just listen.
I can't hear anything but screeching.
Hang on. It's an even.
You picked that one announcement from like '86.
Obviously, Fink was not feeling it that day.
When the cookie bar, when the ice cream bars came out, was '89. He was 303 pounds. He gained a fucking pound. So don't play that shit.
He was
from
303 as my rubber wrestling figurine. He was 303 my entire life. He's also my dad's birthday, 3-3.
Christ, Ocho.
So there's
your dad needs to be born on fucking March 2nd then, because he was 302.
Anyway, PD,
let's just say we're both right because I'm right.
That steel cage match you're talking about, they did the whole circuit around the country. I remember watching that on Saturday Night's Main Event, and then they had it on
maybe
MSG.
you're going like back to WrestleMania 7 where he had his eye blasted and like he was missing a pound because he had to wear that bandage. When he came out when Yokozuna was fighting Bret Hart. But either way.
No, that was 93, dude.
That was 90. Yes.
Can we get back to our fucking
WrestleMania 9. Anyway. I was talking to Patrick, God damn it. The steel cage match you saw was in '89, so
Yeah, I was young by then, so I'm not sure what I saw.
And he superplexed the boss man from the top, and
still got the foam figure in the attic.
That's pretty awesome.
That's good that Patrick got us to talk about our own shit. That's good. That's great guest. We're doing our guest a great service by rambling off on our own shit. But he was 302. So anyway, go ahead. So all right. So you
don't believe anything on the internet.
You were 6 around then, and then what? So when they all right. So let's get on in this here. All right. What he was talking about when Yokozuna came out and freaking
that's '89, Caesar's Palace, Las Vegas.
Yeah, that's the powder gimmick, and then freaking Hogan comes in and Hart's like, "Yeah, you do that."
Yeah, you do it.
While he hated him.
Yeah.
And then they started shitting the bed a bit.
I got blocked by Hulk Hogan on Twitter because I was arguing with him about that very spot.
You were arguing with Hulk Hogan about
I swear
Rad Rob was arguing with Hulk Hogan.
No. Listen. Shut the fuck up. Brett had posted something about that exact moment, and Hogan had commented down below, and I said,
"What say you, Terry?"
I said, it is kind of bullshit that you were gone for like 6 months and Brett was carrying the company, and then you come in and just take it back on a one-off. And he blocked me for that. So
I would have fucking blocked you too.
Right.
How did he read that? Like Hulk Hogan read that tweet?
It's a fucking work. And that's what he said, dude. It's all a work, brother. I worked just as hard as he did, blah, blah, blah,
so
blah, blah.
He answered you and then blocked you.
He did. He's fucking
guys' egos are so fucking fragile. Holy shit.
Yeah.
So fragile.
Yeah.
And let's not forget, like, Hulk Hogan, while an icon, is the biggest liar in the history of fucking lying people, too.
Oh, absolutely. Especially in the last couple of years. Like
he makes shit. Dude, he said he worked with Brock after he got out of the UFC. Like, this fucking Brock got back into wrestling in like 2012, I think.
Somewhere around there, yeah.
And Hogan got with him then? Are you shitting me? No, it's fucked
Hogan
up.
was about 8 back surgeries before that. So
Hogan left WWE in like 04 or 05, Mr. America thing. I don't know.
Horrible.
So you were watching that? Oh, come on.
I get the pay-per-views because my nephews used to watch it.
Okay. Yeah. I don't know where they were going to go with the whole Mr. America thing. Then they just fucking dropped it. I don't know. Anyway.
And then I got in a couple of years and then I was out again. I'm done. I work on half the fucking people now. Shit. Like,
no, that's true. That's true. Ocho's worked on quite a few.
Like if I watch fucking shit for AEW, I'm like, I work on him, work on her. They don't talk to me anymore. Fuck them.
No, you did some stuff with Damian Priest, which was
he's my guy, man. He's
the
shit. He's the guy.
Martinez
tickets everywhere.
Yeah,
they gotta make him better. It's a better storyline.
Agreed. He ain't getting any younger either. I think he's in his 40s or close to it.
Yeah.
But,
Still miss DX.
He's I don't want to. I hate to say he's old, but like, yeah, he got that
he's
guy lost
shape,
so much
obviously.
weight in the time I known him. He got in such good shape.
He's got a cool voice. He's got a great promo, and the Judgment Day stuff was fun. I mean, I enjoyed what he did, and I still like what he's doing now. And I'm glad they made him the champ for a while. I thought he did a great job carrying that. But anyways, it's 8:13. Obviously, I got to get ready to put my kid to bed. Do you want to do the imbecile of the week with us, PD?
Sure.
All right, here we go.
It's time for everybody's favorite segment.
If you guys don't know how to use a seatbelt, just ring your call button and Tommy will come back there and hit you on the head with a tack hammer.
You know, Lloyd, just when I think you couldn't possibly be any dumber.
Here's the imbecile of the week.
Some people are really stupid.
All right, so there is a video floating around from Cubica AMF on Facebook that EJ Tackett did a what? What are you pointing at, Ouch? No idea what the fuck he's doing. I'm going to play it. It's a quick little short that we had on Facebook, and I have a bunch of comments that I would like to go over because some of these assholes take this shit way, way too seriously. It's just fucking bowling. It's just, I mean, it's not like it's not like the people that comment are on tour. But here is what EJ had to say about string pins in his home center.
There was a lot of reasons why we chose to go with Edge String. That was functionality of the bowling center, finances, played a part in it, but just having a machine that's going to run properly, run efficiently, and help our league bowlers come in and know what they're going to get when they come bowl that night. I truly believe that the Cubica Edge String is just a superior product.
All right. Now that's fair. I mean, it's not like it's some fucking schmuck, right? It's EJ Tackett, who's one of the best bowlers on the planet right now.
Mm-hmm. It's not even just that. He spoke facts.
He did. Right. But
anybody from Dave & Buster's can fix the machine basically because it's like a third of the cost or a third of the parts.
Right.
Exactly.
Well,
right. So if
I understand how centers are going there.
Yeah. And it's going to be the future of the sport. And we've had this conversation several times, but the people that are just so fucking visceral about this stuff, like it's life or death. I do have some good comments, but there's a lot of bad too. We're gonna see which is the worst. Brian Christofferson says, EJ, I'm no longer a fan. Junior, can you imagine being so upset over string pins that you wouldn't follow a pro bowler anymore?
Honestly, here's my most unfettered answer ever. I have spent enough years being so close-minded about evolution and about like every other walk of life, that the fact that I've figured out a way to finally work through it at 40 years old, my only answer is that people are just simply close-minded about shit that they're more into their own ego and their own desire about it than actually looking at the big picture. Do I like string pins? Do I want to bowl on string pins? Of course not, dude. I'm 40 years old. My entire life as bowling as I know it has not been on strings. If I want to bowl on strings, I'll do it on a Carnival cruise ship. I'll do it at the Silverton Casino in Vegas. I'll do it on a fucking stub lane. I mean, yes, I think I'd rather go fucking shoot skee ball, to be perfectly honest. But if I don't have to pay my head mechanic 6 figures a year, if my parts are, as P. Dom said, a third of the cost, in which, obviously I always talk about rev rates. I've already seen how much easier they are to operate. As P. Dom also said, the guys at Dave & Buster's can fix a breakdown if one ever happens. And as we had Ryan Schaefer on the show say, most of the time now on a certified string center, nothing is really that much different other than bigger emphasis on more quality shot making.
Right.
And the same way people probably bitched about when the Excalibur came out in 1992 because it went sideways compared to every other ball, the same way people exited the game when resin overtook urethane officially in 93, 94, the same way people are bitching about urethane now or two-handers now, people just live to argue with any kind of change that doesn't suit their direct mental needs. It's not even physical. This guy's probably a piece of shit bowler, respectfully. He probably sucks at bowling, too.
Yeah.
This is the same guy that'll go into league and average like 210 and then complain that the lanes aren't easy enough, but he'll always come back and bowl that same league.
For once a week.
So you're gonna base your entire. You're gonna actually publicly announce that you're no longer a fan of one of the kindest, coolest, best bowlers and people ever, just based off the fact that he's trying to let the public know the reason why he selected a brand for his center. I mean, like, how fucking juvenile are you?
There we go. This is what I want to get out of you, Johnny. You start off with the, with the the PC stuff. Tell me how you really feel, Johnny.
I don't like people that are completely unwilling to, like, just open their minds. It bothers me. It always has. You know that. P-Dom, I'm sure you know that from all the shows you've watched.
Yeah.
It irks. It just irks me that people, and again, like, I could say it to you guys. I've never gotten on my social media page or any outlet and publicly called out anybody for something like this.
Right.
I just don't do it. I mean, there's this chick on TikTok. She goes by Sarah Bowles, and I'll say this out loud. She's a decent player, but she's not great. But her content is so down to earth and so cool that every single time I see a video of hers, I write, "Keep up the good work. You're real," right?
I think she's out of Sandusky, right?
She might be, dude. I feel
I
like
think she's at Lizzie's place.
Thank you very much for that.
Isn't that where Tommy Boy's from also?
Say that again?
Isn't that where Tommy Boy's from? Sandusky, Ohio?
Fuck yeah, yep. Callahan Auto Parts.
That's right. Good job.
But that's how I feel about people that are that unwilling to, like, even try and, like, step into the shoes of somebody other than themselves.
It is a bit ridiculous to get that upset over something like that. Paul Marizzo says, "What an a-hole! You're a millionaire, not because of strings."
Yeah, not an apostrophe RE either, you fucking idiot.
Yeah.
I think.
And is he a million? I mean, he's. I'm sure he's a big thousandaire, but, like,
I don't know. He's.
I'm sure he's not hurting for money, but like the way they make these guys out, they're not. As Belmo said, like, the top three are good, but, like, we're still bowling for the love of it, not for the money.
But to be mad at somebody because they wanted to do what's best for their center.
Of course. No, this is
fucking, like,
this is easy pickings too, though, because you're gonna. It's low hanging.
EJ should write back to this guy, dude. If I was a millionaire off strings already, I'd be, like, the most successful businessman in history.
Yeah,
they're fucking, like, not even out yet. He can't even bowl on them yet.
Yeah, I know.
What is this dick talking about?
Adam Tilbrook says, "Wonder how much the string pin company paid EJ to say that." Jerry Lynch said, "I will quit bowling if there's a center switches to string machines."
Good, Jerry. Good.
good
fucking
for you.
Go somewhere else then, Jerry. We don't fucking need you here anyway.
Billy Buvala says, "Weak. Money shouldn't be an issue, I'd hope. Let's put a string on the ball, too, and just pull it back ourselves after the shot. Kind of like self-checkout. Won't need the ball return any longer. Save more money."
All right, so here's another asshole, right? You're so into bowling that you haven't fucking noticed that, like, 38 to 60% of bowling alleys are just fucking dropping like flies. And the best way to conserve those bowling centers and actually keep them open as a place where people
to
like
make them
you
financially viable.
fucking go.
Yeah.
Instead, you're like, well, I'm going to be one of the assholes that just leaves and makes them close their center. Like, just
right.
You love bowling enough to get on a bowling post and write this, yet you don't love it enough to evolve a little bit because that's the only way the center can stay in business. And how dare these fucking people even equate the fucking money that EJ has made as a tour player to the money he's trying to make owning a fucking bowling center. It's like, do you think, like, I'm going to use Donald Trump as an example here. Do you think if Donald Trump quit at his first million, anybody would give a fuck who he was? Like, nobody goes out to try and fucking earn $1 million when they know they can earn fucking 40 million if they play their cards right.
Right.
I mean, it's Juan Soto is a fucking Met now because he likes money. And half the fucking well, actually, all the Yankees are in fucking uproar about it.
Yep.
Half the Met fans are saying this is way too much fucking money to send to somebody, but he is a player. Like,
we'll say Mike Val loves it.
Yeah,
look at Lindor.
Johnny Jr. loves it.
Yeah.
Lindor was stolen from Cleveland.
Yep, true.
Yes,
Money.
exactly.
What did what I don't get is I've never looked at any of these sites ever, like these Facebook pages. So these guys are obviously way into bowling. So like,
They're actually, and this is a Cubica page. Like they're following
Exactly,
this
Ocho.
particular page. Like
Exactly.
So they're going out
are
of
they
their
once
way
a week
for
bowlers?
They must be. I mean, this is the saltiest thread that I've seen. Like I've seen a lot of people like, oh, I'm not going to bowl in those, but like these guys were really over the edge, which is why I had to include them. Let's move on quickly here.
It's hardcore.
Aaron Gold, Bolero, ruining bowling one center at a time.
That one I agree with.
Well, that's not wrong.
That has nothing to do with the strings, though. I mean, like, it's not Bolero specific that they're putting string.
So why'd you pick them then?
No, that one I agree with.
Yeah. Joe Rosen, they're fine for lanes on college campuses for teams to use for practice or a house without serious leagues, but I'd never bowl in a league or tournament that uses them.
I know Joe Rosen has won a bunch of tournaments too. Remember?
Yeah. I think he's in the Midwest region. Anyways.
Again, Pete, what are your thoughts? Without, obviously you don't have to subject yourself the way that I do, but go ahead.
Early opinions on these assholes there, Pete. Jesus, Patrick, Christ.
String pins, I understand the business point of it, but I'm just so used to the ones that free fall. So I understand that they can't pay the mechanics, but you got to do something because none of the younger people are training for mechanics.
But let's just say let's move ahead 5 years. I think it's going to happen around that time. Let's just say 5 to 7 years, and the tour decides, okay, we're gonna, and most houses go to strings. Tour says, all right, we're all in. USPC's in on it. Let's do it. Do you think pros are going to be like these league assholes and say, oh, we're not going to bowl on the fucking tour if everything is going to string machines? Like. That doesn't happen.
Got to advance or something. You got to do it, else you're not bowling anymore. Not making money.
Exactly. You have to do it.
Fucking guys. Steve Carnell says it's all about money. Arcade bowling, disgraceful from a pro bowler. IMO. Chris Kinley says strings on pins belong at a carnival, and next time pay a more convincing spokesman. He's a terrible liar. And then Ed Apt says, you sound like a politician saying what they want you to say, but deep down you know it's not the same. What the fuck, Johnny?
I don't think at any point he even tried to imply that it's the same.
Right.
I think all he did was speak exactly what it is. And I don't think that they could pay him enough to be a liar because he's not one. And I think that people like that are fucking gross.
Yeah, exactly. Fucking gross. That's
those last two. Those last two. Those are like top of the shit list right there.
Yeah.
Woof.
Yeah, that's. I told you, like these are special people.
Yeah.
Tim Simper. 3 things mankind should never have invented: nuclear weapons, string pin setters, and global warming.
Nice.
I got to give him a point. I got to give him a point for that one.
That's great.
That's fantastic. Nick Meir, everyone dust off the old Nintendo Wii for League Bowling. The pin setters never break down. I'll take my advertisement check now.
And so there's the general consensus, though, Rob. Every single person in this chat is a League bowler. There is not one tournament player, and there is not one novice, and there's not one recreational player saying a goddamn word. These are the same people that bowl League and bitch that they have a lane breakdown. This happens every fucking week. Welcome to ABC Lanes.
Right.
They always got something to say. These are the assholes that when somebody jumps them from 3 lanes down, when they have 86 in the 6th frame, they slam their ball on the ball return, put their hands on their hips, and stare at them while they have a towel tucked in their back pocket saying, "I hope you fucking die before I get there, you piece of shit." Then they get up there and they big 4, and once they big 4, they look back at the same guy and go, "Yeah, I'm talking to you. Yeah, you." On lane 12, and they have to say it so loud just so the fucking guy hears them. That's everybody in this chat.
Yes, I got Johnny. That's the unfettered Johnny that I love. That
explains it.
That's so
and
good.
then simultaneously,
So
while I'm sitting there with my legs crossed and watching this transpire, I get the guys in League that I love to death that come and sit next to me and go, "Man, now I understand why you're so quiet all the time when you bowl." Like, of course, I just get to watch the show every week.
Right. Because Kevin Travis says because the porter can untangle the strings at minimum wage.
There you go. I mean, that's truthful.
That's fair. Right.
We already mentioned that. We didn't have to talk about necessarily how much money the guy at Dave & Buster's is making. Yep. But yeah, that's
if
really,
they can get off their phone to go do it.
Well, yeah, that too. Yeah.
Exactly.
That is fair. Bobby Mulhern says, complain that the game just became just throw it hard and watch the pins fly. And then when someone switches the strings, complain about it when it only affects the bowlers everyone is always complaining about and claiming they're not good bowlers just because they get lucky from throwing it so hard and turning it.
It does level the playing field a little bit in the respect that you're not going to see any tomahawk messengers from the guys with a plus 500 rev rate.
Right.
You're going to see you're going to see a lot more of the off hits not striking, similar to what they were trying to do when they used the gold pins and increased the weight a little bit.
Yeah, no spray and pay. What is it? Spray and pay.
Spray and pray. Yeah.
Spray and pray. Yeah, none of that anymore. I mean, it
definitely limits that, and that's all going off the one event that I actually did bowl on them at Circle Entertainment, the old Stelton Lanes. It was, me and my partner that day, we bowled I bowled 249 and she bowled 238 in a good field, and we won the high game pot by like 30 pins for the doubles in the first game. And I remember saying, wow, there's a lot of good players here, and I can't believe like 470 never, ever, ever wins.
Right. Stan says
job,
so far,
Dan.
none of my friends list. I love him. James Rodriguez says it's not good for any type of bowler. Well, obviously it is. It's good for a good bowler and not the house hacks. Moving on. James Lizzo, strings are telling your customers you're cheap. Pro bowlers have a lot to gain by telling us this is good, so let's ask everyday league bowlers like this guy. All machines need to be fixed. Bowlers don't want them.
All right,
bowlers would not want them, Johnny.
I'm going to say this to the league bowlers. There were 8 million of you in 1995. There's less than 2 million of you now. There were no string pins until last year. So what was your fucking reason for losing 6+ million people over the last 20, 25 years? Because it wasn't string pins.
That's a fantastic point.
People only want to fucking talk about what they want to talk about. They don't want to talk about the reality and solutions and attempted solutions to problems existing within an industry, themselves, whatever it is. I'm starting to have fucking chest problems. I need to quit smoking cigarettes. I'm not going to keep smoking cigarettes unless I feel like dying earlier than I should. I'm not going to sit here and say, yeah, but there was a time when if you smoked cigarettes, not only were you cool and it was like a fast track to Hollywood, but it was like promoted that you should be smoking cigarettes. So I'm not going to change now that I have a hole in my chest.
While you're bowling.
While you're bowling. Yeah.
And if you bowl on string pins, you don't have smoking problems either. That's the other thing. Cigarettes don't bother people who bowl on string pin lanes. That's going to be a new lane.
I love this. Let me get through the rest here. Stephen Young, in other words, profit margin. Well, fucking, I mean, it is business.
Nah, Chief, who wants to make a profit?
Yeah, right.
Let's all lose money.
Let's run our center at a loss so you guys can be happy that we don't have fucking string machines. Right.
So you can't bowl.
Justin Muniz, I'll believe it when the tour uses string pins. Well, stick around, fucko. I'm pretty sure they are here. Like I said, the next 5 or 7 years.
They have started, but they're not being as a title yet.
Right, and I think they're still going to be doing more regionals next year with the string centers too. So it is the future. People just have to
I would have went to EJ's place last year, but I went to Oviedo for the regional down there.
I gotcha. Draw Lee. I feel like I was fake bowling with string pins. It is 100% not legit.
Open bowling?
Michael Ophoven. Strings will be the end of bowling.
Like, did the guy shoot a 900? Like, this guy who felt like, because he probably didn't even shoot that good, so whatever the fuck he did, it wasn't enough to make it like a landmark night.
This fucking retard is so dumb. It's the future of bowling. It's not going to be the end of bowling. It's going to be what fucking saves bowling, you jackass.
What if pianos didn't have strings? Think about it.
That's a good point. That's a good point. Justin Y. String pin setters are the first thing that have moved the needle away from game and towards sport in a very, very long time. Now, that is a very productive comment.
I know, Justin.
So do I.
Do you really? Okay, so
Chalker, the first bowler says something that actually means something worthwhile.
Credible bowler. Yes.
He does the lighting for the tour.
Yes.
There you go. So he went on to further say string pins require more precise shot making and levels the playing field between the extreme power players and the more average delivery specs. Yes, there are weird hits occasionally, but there are in free fall as well. The abnormalities are just different. He is 1,000% right, and that's what credible bowlers and pro bowlers have said the same, as opposed to these league fuckers that are getting their panties all up in a bunch because they don't like where the sport's going to be headed. So that's why I did include some of the good commenters here, and I'm glad you guys know him, that you can back up his credibility. So Wayne White says string pins will ruin the game. Period. Bretton Davey wanted to argue that and says Wayne White incorrect. It's the only thing that will save the sport. Correct.
That's what P-Dom said, man. The younger generation doesn't want to train to be a certified A mechanic anymore.
Right.
So when you don't have enough mechanics to operate the centers, of course the centers are eventually going to close unless you figure out an alternative to at least not even maximize your profits. Get your profits remotely to where they were so you can keep the business afloat.
Yeah, and what these centers... Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
No, go ahead, Peter. You go.
Oh, these centers that are opening, the main events, are they string too? They don't have any leagues. They're just there for the arcade areas.
Right. True. And we have a couple.
Chuck Ritchie has a good point too, but it's a little ass backwards.
Jason Brock says, so why did the PBA never hold tournaments on them? It is the death of bowling. Henry Dawson said, Jason Brock, Walter Ray won the first tournament with strings this summer in Florida. Jeremiah Franklin wants to doubt the credibility of the GOAT and says he won due to the string pin interfering with his opponent's messenger because it's a string pin. All right, I'm gonna move on. I'm gonna move on for that.
See, hold on, hang on. Look what Chuck Ritchie wrote, real quick, Rob. He wrote.
I'm sorry, I'm not even looking at my chat here. Where did Chuck Ritchie say?
He said strings weren't the end of tampons, but the strings are actually, in fact, the end of the tampon. So that's kind of ass backwards how he wrote it.
Or it's the
without the string
of where the fun starts.
Leave it to Ocho to make that correlation.
I'm a science major, damn it.
More guys are going to say they're going to quit. I mean, we get the gist of it. Let me see if there's anything. Free falling pins causes different. Okay, we already know about that. If they're certified, they have longer strings than the string pin setters everyone's used to, leveling out the scoring and then compared to free fall. That's true. That's the certified ones, not the carnival ones. There's a big difference.
I'm certified and longer too.
Chad Zwizzler says, I will never bowl league there. When I am forced to bowl on strings, I will quit. I'll see ya, fucker. Jason Brock says 100%. I can't believe he backs this BS.
In that voice too, he did it.
Yo, by the way, earlier what I was gonna say about all these dicks is this. I was gonna say, meanwhile, they're cursing about all these bowlers trying to maximize their profits and being liars and spokesmen. Meanwhile, you assholes pay the USBC an extra $3, $4, $5, $6, $7 a year and get fucking jack shit now for your efforts.
That's a true story.
You bowl your first 300, you don't even get a goddamn free ring. You have to pay for it. And at the end of the year, you go, here's a fucking dog tag that's 75 pins over average that you did last season. We're just going to randomly weigh bowling balls and disqualify entire tournament players' arsenals. You're talking about string pins going to be the end of bowling. You keep giving the money to the people that are ruining bowling.
That's true. That's a fantastic point, Johnny. Jesse Meyer says, won't get the pin carry anymore. No thanks. Well, you're one of those spray and pray assholes that can't make a good shot.
So he gets good pin carry too, this guy.
Let's just wrap it up here. Michael R. Ravel says, LOL, bro, deserves an Emmy after being able to keep a straight face for that one. To which Leonard Lopez says, bowling is done. Ken Walker says, string pin takes the fun out of the game. It's not the same. And Houndy Capper, that's a fantastic name, by the way. String pins are just one more reason bowling is dying. Glad I got out of the sport years ago.
All right, so there's about
I wish somebody would have written back to Houndy and said, what got you out of the sport, Houndy?
Yeah, he was already out prior. So, what the hell? So, 40 years ago, I'm sorry, there's about 40 players out of the 2.5 million that are still league bowlers. I don't think that we're not going to miss those idiots. That's all. That's all I'm saying.
I'm pretty sure we can agree that there's not just one imbecile of the week, that most league bowlers are this week's imbeciles of the week because holy shit. Like, just to be that upset over something, to go on Facebook and publicly express your displeasure to EJ Tackett and the rest of the bowling centers that are just trying to survive. You guys are the reason why most people don't like league bowlers. It's the same thing JR was talking about. The 220 average are the entitled assholes that think they're king shit because they're the resident house hacks, and you know it's like Ocho. No, Ocho,
No.
All right, no, you're right. No, you're right. Final thoughts, Patrick, on like why do you think these people are so incensed that they have to publicly
different?
It's something different. They don't want to change.
That's just it. They're just stubborn. They don't want to change.
And when they say the pins are off spot, strings won't do that.
It's true. It is true.
You know, when Coke changed in the 80s, I lost my shit too. So I kind of feel them now that I think about it.
Actually, I actually liked Coke too, or Coke.
Yeah, because it had more sugar, and that's when your neck started.
It tasted like Pepsi, and I was a Pepsi guy. And then my dad loved New Coke. Anyway,
I actually still have the milk carton, Rob, and it does have a picture of your neck on it. I have it. I thought I was going to get
my Herbalife.
You're to me, it's with the shot clock, and if the strings ever go on the Pro Tour, your telecasts are going to be a lot quicker because it's going to be shorter times setting pins. Again, you're not going to have any breakdowns. You might have the occasional tangle, but it should speed up the game, right, Patrick?
I couldn't tell you right now. I have never had the chance to bowl on them yet, except for at Cedar Point when they had them in the arcade.
All right, well, forget your opinion. Johnny, your thoughts on that?
Say it again. I was getting Evelyn.
You were getting what?
I have to put Evelyn's turtleneck on.
Oh, Jesus Christ. You're one of those.
Dude, it's fucking disgusting here right now.
No, I understand. It's.
What was the
colder.
question?
It's going to get colder too. String pin should speed up the game as well, like the television program as well, right? With less time between re-racking and all that, because you don't have to.
Yeah, we'll still have 25 seconds though.
Oh, so regardless.
Yeah, probably. But we'll see when it happens.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't see one this year.
Happens.
Great thoughts, Johnny. Way to get.
No. I thought you were talking more about like league bowling, and like to me, it's if they get wrapped up 3 or 4 times, it probably equates to about the same time. So I would say it would speed it up a little bit, the process, not a crazy amount.
I was just saying, like with no re-racking, that it should be a quicker TV presentation because doesn't the shot clock start once the pins are racked?
Yes.
No, when your ball comes back.
When your ball comes back. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
A lot
Or when
of
the player
times on
steps
tour,
off the
Rob,
approach.
it's a little bit. It's also a little bit different. The guys will take re-racks to kind of like compose themselves, get an extra. It's almost like taking a quick timeout in football to gather your thoughts.
So they're going to have less time to ponder between because the racking will be quicker.
Could be.
That depends on when your ball comes back too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Fair enough. Patrick, anything you got going on? Anywhere you're going to be coming up? Anywhere? Anything you want to promote or?
Just getting ready for the national tour in mid-January and go from there. So Delaware, looking forward to it.
Yeah, we're looking forward to that as well. It's going to be an exciting season. There's a lot of changes coming up.
I got the RPI this weekend in Reno, so I'm not able to bowl. So.
That's right. You'll be in Florida.
No, I can't go because I'm in the top 50.
Oh,
that's top 50 can't bowl.
No
So I got
shit.
Lava, Tang, McCune.
I didn't know there were rules against that.
A couple other guys are in there, so it's going to be interesting this year.
That is interesting. I didn't know that was a thing. That's
Top 50 is the last couple years.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. Well, enjoy your vacation in Florida.
Thanks.
And we appreciate you being here every week in the chat. We love it when we see pros in our chat and guys that support us and support our show. But and I appreciate you coming on the show and finally getting on the show.
Oh, no problem. Thanks for having me.
It was a blast, and we'd definitely like to have you back on the show. We'll check back. Obviously, you're here every week, so if you ever want to give us an update on how it goes when the season starts, we'll definitely appreciate that.
Yeah, sounds good. Just storm.
Hey, Dom, my last thoughts for you, brother. You've always been a solid player in my eyes, and you definitely have 3 big fans here, and looking forward to what you're going to do this coming season, bro.
Thanks. Appreciate it.
You got it, bud. Kick ass, man.
Will do. All right.
All right, bud. Thanks.
We'll see you guys. Thanks.
Yeah, man. Have a good night.
All right. Thanks.
See you, bro.
I can do a happy holidays or anything like that. What the fuck, man? What a
Merry Christmas, Patrick.
Fucking asshole.
Fuck happy holidays. It's Merry Christmas.
Well, whatever the fuck it is. You didn't do anything. You weren't like, hey,
Jewish?
enjoy
I
your
mean-
Kwanzaa.
He'll see us next week. We can wish it to him then. Cripes.
Well, that's like wishing Nicole happy birthday every week. Like, what idiot's going to do that?
Yeah, but she
I am super excited to be able to wish Ocho a happy birthday today.
Dude, she should sing Betty Davis Eyes.
No, what
We
she
gotta
should
get
be
her on
doing.
here and go.
Johnny Wilder cooled down last week after that.
And I feed you, and I know
No,
just
she
what
should be a
it
nurse
takes
in a
to
fucking
make-
terminal ward at a hospital.
Yes.
She would revive everybody just by walking in and saying, "Look, you're gonna make it. I promise."
Oh, that's good.
He's spitting facts now. That's
great. No, he is. He is. Johnny's the realest guy in the room. Always. Every single
Speaking
time.
of which, if I don't take these, Oach, is it raining sideways with wind?
It's stupid, dude.
Yeah,
It's
I gotta
literally-
try and
It's
take
raining
these-
sideways.
It's raining sideways. Thanks, Holly. I gotta try
Where's
and
your
get
umbrellas?
these dogs
2
outside
blocks
to
up
go
the
to the
street.
bathroom right now. So wish me luck.
All right, JP. Good luck with that, brother.
Later.
I do.
I do.
So we're done. He's done. We're all done.
No, you're not done, Oach. I do. I'm putting that in the roadcaster. I do. I love Kyle. Kyle's going to come on here pretty soon, either next week or after New Year's. So, I mean, pretty soon. We're going to get him to talk about his
And I
endorsement.
need you, and I feed you, and I know just what it takes to make it closer. She's precocious. She's got Betty Davis eyes. That was a Nicole voice.
Are you a karaoke singer? Oach, that was spot on.
No, I just do everything. And literally, what can Ocho do? I can do fucking anything.
That's true. Anyway,
Nick LeBeau knows of the steel trap brain.
Steel trap stomach,
check
too,
me on the
apparently.
Buffalo Bills Steelers playoff game in 1993.
Why are the Steelers 11-2? What the fuck?
10-3.
10-3. Why?
Because Russell Wilson didn't start against the Cowboys, they would have been 11-2.
That's fair. No, that's that's fair.
No, they met every team at the right time. They met Atlanta week 1. Kirk Cousins wasn't good. Week 2 was Slow Mo Joe's. Who the fuck was week 2? It doesn't matter. They won. Week 3 was L.A. Chargers. L.A. Chargers, I call them. And Herbert got hurt. It's everybody they met at the right time. They're not only listen, this is the year they're actually this is the most complete team minus wide receiving because George Pickens is out this week, and they're going to get thumped by Philly. They are going to get thumped.
Probably.
And listen, and they should have won against Cleveland the first time. That's Mike Tomlin's fault. Bad coaching, awful coaching decisions. He still does it.
Nothing this team has done that's good this year is because of him.
I don't know why he's still. Listen, this is the guy that had Ben, Le'Veon Bell, and Antonio Brown. They were averaging 32 points a game just about, and they couldn't win a fucking playoff game.
Can we give Ben more credit than? Can we give Ben more credit than
Ben's the reason why the reason Mike Tomlin hadn't had a losing season is because of Ben.
Like the more I look back on it, I'm like, Ben really was that good and tough as fucking nails. How many injuries did he play through?
So that's what it was. Well, not only that, he was tough to take down. He had the worst offensive line in 2008.
But he's huge. He's a fucking monster.
Super Bowl.
Yeah.
No, it was he got a bad rep because he was a bad person for the first 4 or 5 years, and then he changed his shit.
Yeah, when you supposedly allegedly rape girls in the bathroom, but
well, allegedly, and he wasn't convicted, and there was no. Matter of fact, they got dismissed. Everything got dismissed. There
he was hammered as fuck though. Like you saw the pictures from that party, right? Like he was fucking.
Which college guy didn't?
I don't think he remembers that night. Actually, he was fucking hammered.
It's like, and
he's a tough bastard.
That's tarnished his reputation for sure. But he's a first ballot Hall of Famer. There's no way he's not going in. He's
agreed.
He's like third in the league in wins. Whatever. Anyway,
at least he got you a ring though.
Two.
Right. Sorry, I forgot.
What I didn't like about Ben was. When Ben came in, when he was a dick, he was not a stats guy. He didn't care. He wanted to throw it 20 times, run the ball 40 times, defense win the game. And that was, I get it. Today's NFL is different. But then Ben became a stat guy, and he just wanted to throw the ball, and he would throw it 50 times a game. And
he was great for fantasy football points.
For sure.
Absolutely.
But they never won shit when it happened.
Right.
Their last win was 2008. They got to the Super Bowl in 2010, and Rashard Mendenhall fumbling fucked that up. But after that, they had the best offenses in the league for years, especially after Le'Veon Bell came in and they got Todd Haley to do the short passes and everything. And it was stupid. It was stupid. They'd win games 41-31. Mike Tomlin's supposed to be a defensive guy. And Coach LeBeau, unfortunately, I feel like Mike Tomlin put a fucking rap on him.
Yeah.
Because Coach LeBeau wanted to fucking find out more formulas and not do blitzes, but cover better and stay in the scheme better. Because he was like, they're figuring out the blitz. They know where we're coming from. I can only draw so many designs. I don't know, man. Anyway, I'll talk to Coach LeBeau and find out about that.
Yeah, no, find that out because I know you guys are best friends now. But final thoughts. I can't remember his name right now because I got fucking diabetes brain. I forget a lot of shit. The game against the Patriots, the tight end caught the ball. Jesse James.
All right, so now you want to know the difference between Mike Tomlin and Bill Belichick?
Sure.
That was second down when Jesse James didn't survive they said he didn't survive the catch. He was across the line. It was a touchdown. They changed the rule because of it.
They did.
It was 3rd and 4 at the fucking 3rd and goal at the 4. This is how bad it was. All that time, what was it, a half hour it took to freaking decipher that there wasn't a touchdown?
Right.
The Steelers didn't have a play. Tomlin had to call timeout.
That's pretty sad. No,
Tomlin
you're
had to
right.
call timeout because they never came up with a play for the next. And then whatever they came up with, they rushed, and Ben threw it, bounced off somebody, picked off. Nobody remembers that. We were only down by 3. We could have kicked a field goal to tie the game.
It was a hell of a game. It was back and forth.
It was a fun. Oh, great! It was a fun game, and that was for number 1 seed too, if you remember. That was. So, and then Blake Bortles, because we wound up with number 2 seed. We went 13-3. I got Patriots went 14-2. Yeah, that's exactly right. It would have been flip-flopped, and we would have. That's right. That's exactly right. And because it was still 3rd and goal at the 4,
and you didn't
or maybe
have a play.
The 8. Let's just say they rushed a play because they didn't. Belichick would have had 10 fucking plays lined up.
Yep.
Did you expect to get this? You remember this part? Now, did you expect to get this fucking intellect right now?
No,
because
I did
nobody
not.
Did.
That's why I love it. That's why I love.
Think about it, and that's what and then let's just say Tomlin's worried. I don't have a play. Kick the field goal. It's third down. There's 38 seconds left. Who gives a fuck? Actually, not even, because the Patriots went up and the Steelers went down the field with Juju Smith-Schuster real quick, and to where the clock was already draining down.
Yep.
Fuck.
And you had AB. I mean, that was
that 17? 16. 17. Nope, that was 16. Right?
Right.
Are you saying that?
No, I don't know. You should fucking know that. You're the.
No, I know. I can tell, dude. I got him. I'm pretty sure.
Coach literally called you.
Yes. It was 16. It was 16. No, it was 16 because 17. Boswell went 13 of 20 on field goals and lost him so many games.
Yeah.
And that's when AB started doing his shit. And the Steelers would have gone to the playoffs had the Browns, Baker Mayfield's first year, beating the Ravens. They get in the field goal range and they get sacked out of field goal range on the last game of the year. And then the Steelers, because they went 9-6-1, and the Colts went 10-6, or the Titans did. Can't remember. That's my problem. So that was 2016. And again, Blake Bortles they had a first round bye. Yep. Jacksonville played somebody, and then Blake Bortles shredded the Steelers, shredded them. They were up 21-3 in the first quarter.
And what the fuck did he ever do after that? That was his crowning achievement.
Who, Blake Bortles?
Yeah, he's not a good quarterback.
No kidding. No, that's what I'm saying. That's my point.
I know. Yeah.
And then the next friggin' home playoff game the Steelers got, they're down 28-0 in the first quarter by the Browns.
Why couldn't they beat Tom Brady?
I don't know. I don't know.
I mean, lots of teams can say that, but I mean,
AFC Championship game that year when
Bledsoe played the second half
in 2001. Well, that was when Hines Ward even said they're in the huddle. That was the whole Spygate shit when it started. But that's not the point.
Right.
What was the year? No, that was 17. It was 16. The Jesse James game was 17. Wait, could it have been?
Do I got to look it up?
Wait a second. No. It must have been 17. 16 was the year the Steelers lost in the championship game against the Patriots.
2017.
What's that?
2017.
Which was what?
Was the Jesse James.
Yeah, good. Yeah, I got it. Okay, I got it.
17.
Because 2016, the Steelers lost to the Patriots in the AFC. And again, Hulk Hogan, who had been a wide receiver for a week, had 180 yards in the first fucking half. About
Chris Hogan.
What's his name? Chris Hogan, right?
Chris Hogan, yeah.
Yeah, no, and the Steelers, the Deontay Moncrief. No, it wasn't Moncrief. Who the fuck? Either way, the Steelers showed up. They didn't do anything. It was awful. Patriots are up 17-3 in the first quarter, and it was the same. It was so predictable. And the Steelers were only underdogs by 4 points, and I was like, man, if I was gambling right now, I would bet my entire fucking practice on the Patriots. And then I went, but then what do I root for? And I said, what if they come out and start? And then it was 2 plays in, Patriots up 7-0. How many yards did Chris Hogan have? 120, something like that.
I don't remember.
You have it or no? I thought you were looking at it.
And I googled when was the Jesse James reversal catch.
Anyways,
2017, right. But no, good stuff. I always love shooting the shit with you, Ouch. Even though it's a bowling show, we don't get the. I miss the RTW days when we just talk about whatever we want.
I don't.
No, I know you don't because you hated it, but I still appreciate you being there. What do we got left here?
Still on right now? What the fuck?
No, yeah, we're still on. Rad Rob, great segment with PB3. I thought I was going to see you guys eating barbecue. I was going to film some stuff inside the restaurant, but it was too noisy, and he's like, let's just do it afterwards. So we just talked and ate and shot the shit for an hour and then went outside for half an hour. He told some great fucking stories. And I don't want to speak out of church here, but
no, don't say nothing. We don't want to ruin the mystique.
He's not the altar boy that
don't ruin the mystique
that he was. He had some colorful.
He's a bowling altar boy. That's what it is.
Salt and pepper on the steak, but no, he's a great guy.
Bowling altar boy.
He's fantastic, and it's really cool to see him win the doubles. With Brandon. So I mean, that was really really cool. And he said that was the crowning achievement of his career. After everything he did, that meant the most to him.
How cool is that?
Right?
You just won a tournament where you're so seriously, fucking really?
Yeah. No, it was cool. PD, thanks for being on, brother. Appreciate it. We appreciate you being here every single week, and giving us credibility that we're actually a decent show. So
follow us on X, wherever the fuck we are. And
Team Coaster Bowlers, Storm Bowling, Cloverleaf Pro Shop, Vice Inserts. There you go. That's what he forgot to promote. Good job. Good job.
That's smart. That's how you got to do it.
So anyway, Ouch, you're not going to be here next week.
Nope.
So Merry Christmas. I'm sure I will not talk to you until our next show because you don't answer my text. So that's it.
Nope.
So I hope you and Gabriella and
Quarantine Lady
have a fantastic Christmas, and we'll be back. Johnny and I will be here next week for a pre-Christmas show. I don't know what the hell we're gonna do. I think it's just gonna be a you're not gonna be here, so we can actually talk freely about stuff. Cool Wick too. All right, good job. Anything else? Just keep throwing in the promos there, Patrick. We appreciate it. All right, guys. Thanks for showing up here this week.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you. Physics Blackout. He's still going. Physics Blackout is coming out Friday. Okay, got it. All right. Again, Doc Sullivan. Fuck you, League Bowlers. You suck. Ocho, you're cool. And we'll see you guys next week. Good night, everybody. How long can you hold that pose? 6 to 8 seconds.
Thanks for listening to this edition of Straight Up 5 with Johnny Petraglia Jr. You can follow the show on Twitter at Straight Up 5 Pod. Follow Johnny Jr. at JPJR07. Follow Rad Rob at Rad Rob Gaming. And follow Dr. Ocho at the Dr. Ocho. Got a question for Johnny? Send your questions to straightup5podcast@gmail.com. We'll see you next time for another edition of Straight Up 5 with Johnny Petraglia Jr. Right here on the Rad Rob Radio Network.
Taxes was taxing. Now taxes is relaxing when you file for free.
I can file for free? TurboTax Free Edition. Roughly 37% of filers qualify. Simple Form 1040 returns only. See if you qualify at turbotax.com/free. I can file for free.
Now this is taxes. File for free with TurboTax Free Edition and get your maximum refund. No schedules except for earned income tax credit, child tax credit, and student loan interest. See if you qualify at turbotax.com/free.